Welcome to my channel, The Tea Really Teaing. Let's get messy. Nique went to see her first Nique link in New York.
Just fresh out of relationship. Like, this was like my first ever sneaky link.
I know
This is my first ever flued out experience with anybody. Like,
I remember this story.
We both.
Y'all sit back and listen.
Yeah, I know this story.
I'm so embarrassed. It's so fucking stupid. That stupid ass bitch. I had flew out, and mind you, I was being very, very hard. Like, the first time this nigga ever tried to talk to me, it was my birthday, and he was like, "Oh, happy birthday," this, that, and the third. And he just kept pressing me. Like, he would just be DMing me and DMing me and DMing me and DMing me and DMing me. And that's always the niggas. You should never give.
They're persistent.
One thing about it, you should never give a nigga that's thirsty a try.
Yeah. Them always be the ones that
that's always be the ones that fuck over you.
Oh my
like
God.
the niggas that be hitting you up every single day and you be dubbing their ass. Bitch, follow your first fucking mind, because that's the ones that's gonna dub your ass. So he was just hitting me up all the time. Like, he had just been hitting me up and hitting me up, hitting me up. And so I finally was like, fuck you, bitch, I ain't got nothing to do with YOLO. I'm just gonna go. So he was like, "Oh, you should come to New York. It's my birthday. Like, I'm gonna be lit. This, then the third." The PJ is from Target, so y'all, I'm gonna lie. So he was like, "Oh, I'm in New York. You should come. This, then the third. It's my birthday. I'm having this. I'm not gonna say that. He having this party and everything." So mind y'all, he was married, but
You found that out on a trip, though.
I didn't find out on the trip. He was married, but to the public, like, he just told me they were separated. Like, he was like, "Oh, we've been separated." Like, I was very young. He just painted this picture like, "Oh, this, that, and the third. Like, I'm not with her no more. We haven't been with each other for a long time. It's complicated, this, that, and the third." So I'm like, okay, bad. So, because that's what I'm seeing on social media. Mind y'all, he was a very known guy. He was a very known guy. So, I'm like, okay, well, they must not be together no more. This, that, and the thing. He was like, I don't know. I didn't look too much into it. So, basically, I didn't look too much into it. And so, I went out there. So, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go YOLO. Bitch, this is my first time ever doing a sneaky link. Why you shaking your head?
We both know the story.
Okay, so I'm like, this is my very literally my first ever time flying out to anybody. I was so young minded and I was just so clueless to everything. Like, literally, I was fresh meat into the world. Like, fresh meat into the world, into the industry, everything.
From being put up to fresh meat.
Put up to just fresh meat out there. Out there to the wind. And so basically, I go to New York. He like, I flew out to New York or whatever the case may be, and then he was like, I was sitting in the room. So at first he told me he was gonna pick me up. He ended up never ever fucking picking me up. I had to Uber fucking to the hotel. So when I Ubered to the fucking hotel, it was like a okay hotel. The shit was shitty as fuck. Like,
You didn't tell me that part, man.
like, the hotel was like a hole in the wall. It was so
I didn't know
bad.
that part, man.
Oh my God, nobody knew that part. It wasn't bad, but it was just like very small. Like, I'm like, okay. So it's still me thinking like, bitch, is my first time being in New York. I'm thinking everything is like small in New York. So I'm thinking, okay, it's expensive hotel, but it's just little as fuck. I'm like, okay. So it's little as fuck, bitch. Just
Nique. If a New York hotels be small as fuck though.
Bitch, this hotel was little.
Remember the Chestnut Checkers Hotel? Kiana landed first. She was like, "I'm in the middle of nowhere. What the fuck?"
Bitch, it was like,
Yes,
I wouldn't say it was in the it was not in the trenches. It was like in the middle of everything. Like, I
Everywhere
was
in
in
New
the
York
middle
is
of
the trenches.
everything, but it was little as fuck. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna play it cool, because maybe all the hotels in New York look like this. Mind you, I ain't never been nowhere. This is like my first time ever stepping up the porch. So then I'm trying to remember the story, y'all, because I'm so
then you was hitting him up. Or he
So then he was hitting me up. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna pass by the hotel. Like, I'm gonna come and get you. This, that, and the third. I'm busy right now. I'm doing all this stuff for my birthday. This person just hit me up. Like, I gotta do all this stuff." So more of the story. I'm gonna just make the story fucking short. So more of the story. He ended up. I was hitting him up the whole time. He ended up never coming to the hotel. He ended up telling me to meet him at his party, because he had a birthday party that night. He ended up telling me to meet him at his party It was just a whole bunch of shit with the party. Like, it was just
a disaster.
It was a
Had y'all
disaster.
separated.
But bitch, he never intended for me to come to the party. More of the story, bitch, it's no point in even going into detail. He never intended for me to go to the party. So he had said that he had sent me like 3 drivers, and he was like, bitch, he was lying. Like, the whole time, bitch, I'm sitting there dressed at the corner of the bed. He was lying the whole time. He was like, get dressed, I'm finna see your driver. Oh, the driver can't find you. Oh, the driver's at the wrong hotel. Oh, the driver's there. Oh, the driver's there. More of the story, the party was over, bitch. He hadn't told me so many lies that by the time he had to finish telling me all the lies, that the party was over. Next thing you know, they at the after party. So he like, oh, I'm gonna come pick you up from the after.
He didn't tell me that part either. She skipped to the after party. I thought the after
He
party
had to
was
told
the
me
party.
so many fucking lies. That bitch, more of the story. He had ended up at the after party. Oh no, I lied. I'm skipping a whole bunch of shit. Okay, so I got to the hotel. He ended up coming to the hotel. When he came to the hotel, he was like, I'm gonna come and see you. He came to the hotel. Next thing you know, bitch, his wifey started blowing him up. It was like wifey.
What you say? You gonna answer that?
I asked him, I said, you gonna answer that? I'm just all over it. Honestly, I think I'm bad at telling stories while I'm drunk. More story, I flew out to New York. This nigga, he told me he was like, in the process of divorce, the divorce was almost final. Damn near, they was broken up. They was never seeing each other again. Whole time when I got there, his wifey had started blowing him up. Literally, he had her name in his phone as wifey. She was like blowing him down, calling him like 10, 11, 12, 15 times. So I'm like, you gonna answer the phone, girl? He ended up never answering the phone. He's like, oh, I'm gonna be right back, but I'm gonna send a driver to come pick you up for my birthday party. This, that, and third, girl. He never ended up picking me up from the birthday party. I ended up finding my way to the birthday party because I said, fuck this shit. I'm not to the birthday party. I ended up finding my way to the after party of the birthday party. It was just a whole lot of bullshit.
Did you book your flight home? What did you do?
Oh, girl.
Yes.
So then after I ended up finding my way to his after party, Nique funny as fuck. No, this was after King, y'all. This was after King. So I ended up finding my way to his after party. So I'm like, fuck you, bitch. He can't find me a way. Because he was selling it to me like the driver couldn't find me.
So you found it.
Mine just like 4 drivers after this. He kept selling to me like the driver couldn't find me. After that, I ended up finding my own way to the party. I said, fuck it, give me the address. I'm an Uber there. So I ended up Ubering to the party. He ended up finding me, sending his security guard out to get me. I got in the party. Everything was great. I was partying. I was having a great time. So then he said he wanted to come back to my room. And so when he came back to my room, he was basically like trying to force the stuff on me. And I ended up saying like, no. And it was his birthday. So he just like went off. He was like, oh, you don't give me none of my birthday.
You try to use it.
What?
He was like, yeah, it was really bad. Like he was just like basically trying to force the stuff on me. And I was like, nah, no, I'm good. And so he ended up getting mad and like leaving the hotel. And so we hadn't got into an argument. Cause I feel like, bitch, if you didn't cater to me the first time, like in the beginning,
yeah, you have no right.
You ain't getting shit.
Honestly,
it just is what it is. It just ended up being like, it was like a terrible experience, y'all. And then I ended up booking my flight. When I booked my flight, he ended up calling me in the morning and telling me, no, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that.
You left, and now you're trying to please your case.
Yeah, I was
on
the way to the
Exactly.
airport. He had left and went home. He called me in the morning. As soon as I was on my way, I had then booked myself the first flight out. As soon as I booked myself the first flight out, y'all, he had then called me. He was like, nah, go back to the hotel. Like, I'm so sorry. I was super drunk. I was super fucked up. Like, I was so drunk. I don't even know what I said. I'm so sorry. Like, I want to make it up to you, this, that, and third. So, y'all, why I went back to the hotel? I'm like, okay, he must have been, like, crazy drunk. He must have never know what he was doing. I went back to the hotel. And, girl, why I stayed there the entire time?
She didn't tell me that part.
Why I stayed at the hotel the entire day? He didn't answer.
Oh, yeah, you told
like
me that
7 p.m.
Yeah.
And when he answered, he was like, oh, I just felt some type of way because you was really finna leave me on my birthday. It was like, it was terrible. More the story, I don't know, I'm drunk. I can't really tell the story how it was supposed to be like. It was just
trust
bullshit.
nobody who begs
He was like,
you,
just,
period.
he was like a bullshit ass, stupid ass,
I feel like
bitch ass nigga.
I feel like he had certain intentions when he flew you there. his intentions wasn't for you to like spend time with him, go to the party and stuff like that. He had
Girl,
certain
he
intentions
had
to
this
you there.
so he had
And
so
when he
this
couldn't get
image
that-
like it was just like, oh bitch, I'm
But
gonna
like,
just.
but you want to know what's so crazy? Like when
It was bad, y'all. It was really
no, but
bad.
when you're in that phase when you're like new and naive to something, you really try to give people the benefit of the doubt.
I was really
Like, you really try to like be like, all right,
and he
maybe
was
he
fugly
was.
as
Yeah.
fuck. Bitch, he was like ugly as fuck. I'm like, just I'm gonna do it for the plot.
But just being a good person,
never do shit for the plot,
Why?
bitch. That shit was
But
stupid
you didn't
as
even
fuck.
do it